Real Madrid's summer window started with a quiet, almost surgical signing. Dean Huijsen, a towering 20-year-old, arrived wearing the weight of enormous expectation, not as a stopgap, but as the long-term spine of a defence that suddenly looks like it belongs to a different era. Fans have already seen glimpses, a composed presence when the ball must be played out, an appetite for winning aerial scraps, and a body that reads the pitch like a veteran. Yet that optimism sits next to a harsh truth. The white backline has been repeatedly knocked off balance by injuries and loss of form, and the club's hierarchy know a single homegrown prospect, however gifted, cannot shoulder a decade of European nights alone. That is why Real Madrid's scouting lights have swung north to the Premier League, and why one name keeps returning in boardroom briefings and journalist inboxes. Mickey van der Ven, a left-footed colossus who combines real elite speed with the kind of physical bravery top managers crave. Van der Ven's game is deceptively modern. He doesn't just defend, he accelerates defensive transitions, recovers territory with a burst that turns potential panic into controlled clearance, and in possession he hands the ball back to midfield with the calm of someone used to heavy, aggressive pressing. For a coach like Xabi Alonso, who has already signalled his preference for defenders who can sprint the line, step into midfield when needed, and bring the ball forward, Van der Ven ticks a lot of boxes. But football's clean lines blur with financial reality. Reports place a stern price on Spurs centre-back, figures that force even an elite club to pause and weigh the alternatives. Euros 18, or a number close to it, reframes the conversation from who fits Xabi's tactics to which structural gamble best protects the squad's next 3 seasons. It's not merely a shopping list, it's an identity decision. If Madrid spend big on Van der Ven, they buy immediate pace and experience from one of Europe's toughest leagues, and they effectively accelerate Huijsen's apprenticeship into a partnership where youth and Premier League steel coexist. If they balk, Madrid will likely look to free agent windows, cheaper continental profiles, or a patchwork of veterans whose names bring pedigree but not necessarily pace. That second route keeps the books calmer but risks leaving a speed deficit on the pitch, the specific vulnerability opponents have repeatedly exposed. There's also a human drama threaded through the numbers. Tottenham value Van der Ven highly and have shown little appetite to let a rising defensive star go without a fight. Contracts and clauses, wage negotiations and manager preferences make the deal more than a simple check. Meanwhile, inside Valdebebas, the medical reports read like a red flag montage, David Alaba's ongoing fitness questions, Antonio Rudiger's downtime, other absences that have forced Alonso to improvise and accelerate opportunities for fringe play. That pressure turns the summer into an outcome-centric test. Do you spend now to stabilise, or reshuffle and hope a younger core can be hardened in domestic competition? For Huijsen, the repercussions are immediate. A marquee signing beside him could be a masterclass in mentorship, a physical elder who helps shape his positional nuance, game tempo and decision-making in Europe's biggest nights. Left to shoulder the load too soon, that same bright prospect risks being outpaced by expectation. The sports elite are rarely sentimental. They balance money with squad architecture, and Real's leadership know a single transfer can rewrite the next 5 seasons. If they land Van der Ven, the message is loud. Real Madrid will combine homegrown talent with Premier League pace and treat defence as the foundation of renewed continental ambition. If they don't, the club will have to be cleverer, finding drivers of tempo in smaller deals or trusting Alonso's tactical acumen to mask raw speed with superior positioning and pressing structure. Either way, this is not a routine transfer whisper. It's a crossroad. One path buys immediate physical assurance at a steep cost, the other bets on development, ingenuity and financial prudence. For the fans, the choice will reveal a lot about the club's appetite for risk under a new era of management, and for Xabi Alonso it may define whether this Madrid is remembered for surgical long-term construction or for a blockbuster that finally answers the defence's long, nagging questions.